here, just for a moment. Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Red Embrace Hollywood. I keep remembering that it's red, but I don't remember the other words. But we are here with Heath, the man that has charmed my heart. And we really don't know what choice to be making here. Did I already save here? Yes, I did. I'm stuck between these two choices, so I'm gonna go with you're pretty empathetic for a vampire. My comment made Heath chuckle, although he didn't seem surprised. I couldn't have been the first person to tell him that. I'm cursed with a bleeding heart, if not a beating one. That's the nature of many Escari. We were so sensitive to our humanity in life. It stays with us even past death. It's a double-edged sword, I think. I'm sure you understand, since you have all of our house's favorite traits in spades, especially when it comes to loveliness. Thank you, I do try. I could easily say the same about you. Give me this one. Flattery will get you everywhere. Please don't let me stop you. He shyly lifted one eyebrow. Slyly, not shyly. Leaning in just enough to enter my personal space before relaxing back on his heels. What are you doing? But listen to me, Michiko, please. More than anything else, I want you to remember, if you don't want to be alone, you don't have to be. I run a bar downtown, nothing much, just a little nook for stars, and a sanctuary for people like us. It's called Saturnalia? I don't know. When you come by sometime. I didn't mean to sound too forward, but the warm lamplight reflected in his eyes as they flicked up towards mine. His gaze was so longing, so hopeful, that I had to wonder what I'd done to deserve it. There's something different about you, something more than a little captivating. I'd like to learn more if you'd let me. I'd love to come by, Heath. Maybe I'll even make a surprise visit. I'll think about it. No need to save me a seat. Yo, rude! Who will do this? No, I'll go with the first one. He immediately lit up at that. I just offered him his favorite thing in the world. You know just what to say to make me impatient. I'm gonna go crazy waiting for you, so don't be too cruel, please. Until then, if you ever need me, you know where I am. With a gentle bow of his head, he gave me one last long look. The sun's coming up soon, which means it's time for me to tear myself away, but I'll remember to say a prayer for your success tomorrow. Though honestly, I doubt you really need it. Sweet dreams, Michiko. After tonight, I doubt it. I'll see you around. Whatever, bye. This is the most rudest choices. I hope you show up in them, Heath. Good night. Isn't that too soon to be saying that cheesy stuff? Whatever. I am a princess of cheese. I would say queen, but I don't want to be a queen yet. With that, Heath quietly made his way to the exit, slipping outside. Once the door clicked shut behind him, I was alone again in golden solitary confinement. Like Heath said, the sun would rise soon, meaning I needed to tightly shut the curtains and curl up until tomorrow night. In a way, I didn't want to. Shutting the curtains would mean surrendering to the reality that this was an awesome fucked up nightmare. But I wasn't sure how much longer I could deny that reality. I mean, I already drank blood. Might as well just turn off everything. With the coming sunrise safely hidden away, I turned off the bedroom lights. As I stared at the LED glow of an alarm clock, letting my transformed body sink towards something resembling sleep, one last thought drifted into my head. I felt incredibly lonely. I felt deeply determined. I felt strangely excited. Bruh, I feel incredibly lonely. The sense of isolation that Heath mentioned was creeping up on me. Was I really cut off from my family and friends forever? Yo, they're probably gonna think like I fell off the earth or something. I could only cling to the hope that just maybe I'd wake up tomorrow in my own bed and forget that any of this had ever happened. Nah, it's not gonna work like that. With that feeling still settled in my chest, I closed my eyes. Finally, a comforting nothingness pulled me down into the dark and away from the coming day. Hello? 12:01. I've been waiting 3 hours for this call, anxiously pacing in my room. I picked up the phone before the third ring, readying myself for Marcus's poetic drawl. Hello to our valued Hollywood Heights customer. But instead, a boisterous theatrical voice boomed at me through the receiver. Are you paying too much for your car insurance? We're offering a very special deal just for our Hollywood Heights Platinum Reward members. Hang up. Don't say anything. I think you have the wrong number. I always hang. I don't even pick up the phone, to be honest. Hang up. I slammed the phone back down on its face, unamused. But a few seconds later... Ooh, spooky music. Could you cut the bullshit, Marcus? Or I'll silently pick up the phone. I see my efforts to put your nerves at ease are unappreciated, sister, and I'm mighty disappointed. Down to our business for tonight, however. He's trying to be playful, not fan, just hang up. The place you're to go is July Company Parking, an abandoned garage downtown. That's where the parties of our two rendivious, are meeting. You need to find Randall and get him to call off negotiations. Do you follow me this far, sister? Our performance anxiety is kicking in. Yeah, continue. Yes, go. Just continue. Now listen carefully, because here comes the best part. There's a knife that Randall loves very, very much. Why, he loves that blade as much as Lot's daughters love their daddy. But if he thinks someone stole it, it'll drive him completely wild and put him in a very unprofessional mood. I heard Marcus inhaling sharply on the other end of the line, like someone preparing to gleefully deliver news. And that knife just so happens to be waiting for you at the hotel's front desk. You take that knife, show it's Randall, or pretend you took it off a Golgotha who wanted to drive a hard bargain with it. That's sure to ruin negotiations. I rather doubt Randall would mistake you for one of his unwashed lackeys, but Sarai says he'll be seeing too much red to care. It sounds sketchier than gas station sushi, but okay. I have really bad feeling about this. Got it, I'm ready to go. I think that's actually a really good plan, so I'm ready to go. That's a spirit. Charge into Death's jaws and make him no fear. Now, once you've finished up, just come back to the hotel bearing all the good tidings. I have faith in you, Michiko. Then again, I also had faith in Jack Kennedy, so maybe don't call yourself the Messiah just yet. Okay. It was a sink or swim then. It was... What? It was sink or swim then. Okay, I got that right. Sorry. I didn't have the first idea of what to expect, and that terrified me. But if I'd survived so far in Hollywood among the living, then I'd find a way to do it among the dead. After picking up the knife from the front desk, I left the hotel and skulked out onto the street. July Company Parking. I vaguely remember seeing that sign before, at least so I had some idea of where to go. Can't take an Uber, cause that'd be weird. Stealing my nerves, I sat on the garage's direction, trying to avoid eye contact with any late night passengers. But as I walked, I started to feel the same aching hunger I'd felt last night. It was just a dull pain at first, but it quickly grew stronger, gnawing at me from the inside. Dude, why didn't you take a little sip of the juice before you left? I couldn't focus on anything else. Before I entered the parking garage, I'd have to find blood to sate myself, or else the pressure would snap me. Damn it, that was probably why the fridge had 3 blood packs, not just 1. I'm an idiot. Just then my heightened senses picked up a scent down the alley. The scent of a mortal. Alone. There was no one else nearby, which meant I could feed on them if I wanted to. But if I feed on them, they would turn into a vampire, correct? Right? The pain was getting worse. My body ached, my head spun, and the whole world pulsed in front of me. To be honest, I would prefer to resist. I couldn't give in. I was human, not an animal. How could I just sink my fangs into someone? A living being would prey. Or so I tried to tell myself. The hunger kept growing and growing and growing. If I drank just a little bit, they wouldn't be hurt, right? I wouldn't be doing anything cruel. Just one small taste. At least you'll know I would try my hardest not to try to eat the person. I stepped into the alley, pulled like a magnet towards that wonderful scent. It didn't take long before I caught sight of the source. What is it? The young man, probably in his late teens, let out a gasp when I stalked up to him. He'd been taking a piss taking a piss behind the dumpster, but quickly zipped himself up and cleared his throat. Hello? Can I help you with something? I'm just on my way home from work. His voice trembled. This was the first time someone had ever been afraid of me. But the only thing I could concentrate on was the smell of his blood. Suddenly, the most delicious smell in the world. Don't worry, I'm not going to mug you. Yes, I need you. I don't know what to do here. I'm not gonna mug you. Oh, that's a relief. His nervous laughter echoed in the alleyway. I took a step towards him slowly. He stayed in place, but I could see his whole body's tensing up, getting ready to turn and bolt. Another step, and another, until he was only a foot or two away. Shh! Shh! Come here, just for a moment. There was no other choice. At first, he only stared at me, blinking. But the next moment, he stumbled forward as if I was pulling him by an invisible string. Oh, dude, I need to take another thumbnail! I curled my arms around him, gently tilting his head to one side, and the hunger in my gut jumped eagerly. You're dreaming, don't worry. I'm sorry. Shh. To be honest, I'm sorry. Sorry. With a shuddering breath, he closed his eyes, clutching my shirt. My lips met the side of his neck, fangs extending. I pressed them to his flesh. Wait, should I take this picture? Which picture looked better, guys? Shoot, I wish I could ask you guys, to be honest. But I'm not playing on Twitch. And sunk them in. This close-up shot? Okay, I don't need this photo though. Hot blood flooded onto my tongue, down my throat, sending sparks of life into my dead body. It was pure bliss. Not like food, not even like a buzz. It was a high. A delicious shock that ran through me and lifted me up. The blood packed from last night couldn't even compare. It was like tasting ambrosia after licking dirt off the ground. I don't even know what ambrosia is. I don't even know if I should look that up. Is that a fruit? I don't know. But it wasn't just the taste that made the moment euphoric. It was the experience, the feeling of holding this mortal who squirmed with pleasure as I fed from him. Don't you think we should stop by now? Is he gonna turn into a vampire? The faint whimpers leaking out from beneath my fangs, soft and sweet. The hunger finally sated. Slowly his body grew limp in my arms, slightly trembling, chest rising and falling unevenly. Bro, this guy's gonna die if I don't stop. I pulled back, licking my lips. I'd almost gotten carried away and drunk too much. It was hard to help myself. The young man was still slumped in my arms, peacefully unconscious. I could still feel his heart beating, and his skin didn't look too pale. He'd wake up before long, or so I hoped. But I couldn't waste any more time. I needed to head towards the garage to catch the meeting on time, so I decided to carry him somewhere safe or leave him. So far, I've been a nice vampire, so I will carry him somewhere safe. This was LA at night, and leaving an unconscious guy lying in the alley was probably only a step away from manslaughter. Funny how this boy was more in danger from his fellow man than from a monster like me. Grabbing him under his arms, I dragged his ragdoll body through the shadows, searching the nearby buildings for a safe place to leave him. It wasn't long before I found an old dentist's office, long since abandoned. I kicked open the door and set the man down inside the dark, dusty waiting room, tossing the rug on top of him for a blanket. Better than nothing, right? Guess. Last, with a somewhat lightened conscience, I hurried back to the street. Hey, the chick's not advertising love anymore. But as I rushed towards the parking garage, savoring the last taste of blood off my tongue, I couldn't stop thinking about what just happened. So this is what it meant to be a vampire, an urban, unholy apex predator, a parasite living off someone else's life. There really was no going back. No, there isn't. Okay, I have time still. This is a trip. July Comedy Parking Garage, closing October 8th. How many Octobers ago, I wondered. Judging from the litter and grime all around the place, probably quite a few had passed. Well, it didn't matter, this was the place. A bored-looking thug stood by the entrance, obviously stationed as a guard. My first trial by the looks of it. Oh no. Putting on a confident expression, I strode up to him, clearing my throat. Place is closed. Go dick around somewhere else. Oh, rude. You're so rude. He barked a few short words out at me before I could even open my mouth. I'm one of the Gotham meeting here tonight. Please let me in. If you don't let me into this meeting, you're gonna be in deep shit later. You'll be in deep shit later. Alright. I don't remember Randall saying anything about waiting for someone. Okay, you got me, but I really need to get inside. Sorry, baby, but I'm not risking my ass for you. Shoot, what if I did the other one? I guess. Oh yeah, you don't really look like one of them. Hard to tell sometimes, though. He peered into my face suspiciously, letting out a snort. But the boss told me not to let anyone else inside. Too much shit at stake. What a shame. I figured you were the type of guy who liked cash. Even if I promise you something later? No, man. Cash. He paused, a greedy light flickering in his eyes. Alright. How much cash you talking about here? Fork it over and I'll say, you snuck past when I wasn't looking. Motion him closer than punches lights out. Oh, dude, I gotta save. I gotta wait for the next episode. Oh my god, this game is so interesting. I love it so much. Anyway, this is where we're gonna end today's episode. I don't know which choice to pick, so it's gonna be a surprise for both of us. So stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
의미 없는 감정 소모해 반복된 시속 속에 이젠 지겨워지기 전에 반복된 시속 속에